Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are live this Tuesday afternoon in July at Lindsey Nelson Stadium here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Got some more Smoky Mountain Collegiate League action for you tonight. Copperheads versus BC Blue. Just saw a game end 9-1, where the Eagles were victors over the Cougars. BC Blue will be starting Jake Worms on the mound as they look to climb up the standings. Copperheads 6.5 games behind the Bears, and BC Blue 8 games behind the Bears. So only a game and a half separate these two, which means this game could have not a lot of implications, but it does have some implications for the team behind BC Blue. BC White, a game and a half behind them, will play later today. Both the Eagles and BC White, a game and a half behind this BC Blue team. And the Eagles already winners today, 9-1 their score. So they draw ever nearer to BC Blue. BC Blue will look to grab a win today and go about their way, staying in that third spot for the playoffs. So, like I said, Jake Worms on the mound, making appearance number 3 for BC Blue. So he'll face Zach Fritz to start things off. Gets a swinging strike to start the game off. If you missed Jake Worms' last start, boy, was it a dandy. Came 6 days ago on last Wednesday. Went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no runs. The game would eventually be lost in extra innings to the Eagles. But boy, did Worms have a great start. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a big old goose egg in the earned run column. I'll have to go through this Copperheads team that has 11 wins on the season. Has them in second place, as I mentioned before. Worms got the leadoff man, Zach Fritz, down to 2 strikes, but Fritz able to even the count back at 2-2. Worms will have to face the best offense in this league, average-wise. Copperheads hitting .277, leads all teams as that ball slapped on the ground to Slowinski, yesterday's starting pitcher. He will tap first base for the 3 unassisted, and that's how we'll start this game. Copperheads leading in average, on-base percentage, just narrowly behind the Bears in slugging percentage. As they'll say, check swing. Go. Gonna check over to first, say no, he did not go. It's 2-hole hitting Bass Cooper. Look to get on base, get something started. Copperhead's also a team that leads in home runs as Cooper flies that ball out to short. Will be caught for out number 2. Seven home runs in the season for the Copperheads. Have not seen one in quite some time. Last one coming a couple of weeks ago at Sevier County High School. And where Mark Anthony Hernandez hit 2 in that game. Both of them 3-run homers. But Worms making his way through the first 2 with relative ease. Sterling Hallman will look to change that, reach base. Hallman hitting .333 on the season, adding the count 2-0. And fouls that one off. Hallman, who just saw his hit streak come to an end yesterday against this BC Blue team. Looking for a bit of revenge. Both the Copperheads and Hallman. It's the 7-2 loss. Got to sting a little bit. Likely will be the 2-3 matchup in the playoffs next week. Should be 1-4 and 2-3. We'll get to battle it out for the championship. So 3-2. Gonna miss up. Hallman reaches base. Puts a runner on with 2 outs. Brings up the DH, Samuel Eddington. As the wind starts to swirl around Lindsey Nelson Stadium, coming up to the press box, blowing around a bunch of papers up here. First pitch to Eddington, going to miss up. Samuel Eddington, one of 2 Eddingtons on this team. We'll see Ridley Eddington, his brother, hit later in this game. Ridley hitting in the 8th spot. Eddington chops this one to Taylor. Makes the play across the infield. Easy flip over to Slawinski for out number 3. Worms picking up where he left off. Another 0 on the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the first, all tied at 0s. Bit of a last-minute change for the Copperheads as we go to the bottom of the first inning. We're supposed to get Jacques Gillespie Taylor on the mound, but instead we will see Landon Letterman, who made his Copperheads debut, Smoky Mountain League debut yesterday. Went 0 for 2. We'll see what he has to offer on the mound. He'll face Owen Yvonne to start things off. Yvonne, who is in a bit of a battle with Christian Carlton for best average on this BC Blue team. Carlton in 324 and Yvonne hitting 316. Carlton patrolling that 4-hole for this BC Blue team. The count moves to 3-0 Owen Yvonne. And he'll walk. So Yvonne, who was unable to reach in the game yesterday, the 7-2 victory against this Copperheads team. Will reach in his first at-bat via the walk. Letterman able to find the zone for the first time in this ball game. Gonna check over on Yvonne. Only the one stolen base from Yvonne, 1-1 on the season. Was caught stealing last Wednesday. Hasn't stolen base for quite some time, but has some speed. Has seen him chase down a lot of balls in the gaps. But 0-2 to the man who is on fire, Ryan Deggs. 3 for 3 yesterday with two triples and a double. Looking to continue lighting the world on fire is Ryan Deggs, as he has almost climbed over that 200 mark. Was hitting below it yesterday, and now hitting around 195. The 0-2 not going to find the zone. Pick off move. Trying to keep Owen Yvonne as close as possible. Talked about it all of yesterday. Ryan Deggs came in with no extra base hits. Collected 3 in his start yesterday. Also had himself a couple of good plays in the outfield. So was able to get it done on both ends. Resulted in a 7-2 victory. As BC Blue tried to fight off the two teams right on their heels, trying to stay in that third place position. Deggs has quietly moved this count full 3-2. An on-base streak would be quite interesting. 4 at-bats on base. We'll see if he can get that ball into left field. We'll do just that. So Deggs absolutely on fire. Man on a mission. 2 triples and a double yesterday. Now completes his first at-bat for a single in the left field. Getting hot at the right time. BC Blue on a bit of a hot streak. Looking to trend in the right direction going into the playoffs. So nobody out and 2 on. Yvonne and Deggs, both with some speed, as Wyatt Collins will look to hit them both in. Ball into the gap could do exactly that. Collins a 1-for-2 game in yesterday's matchup. Was able to drive in an RBI. So looking to do the same here, already with an RBI opportunity this early in the game. One gets away. And Yvonne will move to third. Reading ball in dirt as ball just slightly got away from Logan Cox. Didn't think it was going to amount to much, but now puts a runner at third base with nobody out. Deggs off of the pitch now. Collins sends that one foul. Putting runners in motion here early, trying to put some pressure on the defense. Letterman already in some hot water to start things. As we see, I believe Taylor out in left field in the bullpen. Starting to warm up. Deggs off with the pitch. Swung on a missed to the backstop. So 1 run will come in to score. Deggs on his horse. Trying to get into third. Will get into third. So he'll grab a stolen base. And 1 run will come across for BC Blue. Collins, who was out on the strikeout. But the ball to the backstop. Was able to score the run. The aforementioned Christian Carlton, who's leading this BC Blue team in average, will get his turn with runners in scoring position. Ryan Deggs still over there at third base, was able to steal second and advance to third on the pass ball. Didn't even think he was going to try to grab that extra base, but just shows you how locked in he is right now. Showing off the wheels. Christian Carlton playing third today. Has himself a 2-1 count as that ball gets to the backstop off the glove of Cox. Gonna bounce far enough away for Deggs to come in to score. Lead moves to 2, and Christian Carlton will bat with the bases empty. And he'll walk. Carlton have to have a little bit of a gripe getting the RBI stolen from him there. But it does mean that BC Blue takes a 2-0 lead. As that one is fouled off. Drew Slawinski, who I mentioned, started the game yesterday against the Copperheads, was the winning pitcher, went 5 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs. The only 2 runs of the game will pop up to Bass Cooper in his first at-bat, and that'll put 2 outs on the board. Braden Taylor will grab his first at-bat here against Letterman. With Taylor working rather quickly, not entirely sure if Letterman will get another inning. As he was not scheduled to start, was supposed to be Taylor. But he will try to set down Braden Taylor, was 1 for 3 in the game yesterday. So that one is fouled off. Taylor on a bit of a mini hit streak. Many people don't consider it a streak till it reaches 3. So he will look to do that right here. Ball up the middle. Be stepped on second by Thompson. That'll be out number 3. So 2 runs come across, Yvonne and Deggs. And a couple of pass balls. Jake Williams coming out, now pitching with the lead. Top of the second coming up, BC Blue leads at 2-0. So great play from Slawinski records out number 1 as Hoffman goes down, and now Musko will go down for out number 2. Or Worms, rather. Still have yesterday's game in my mind, where Slawinski was the starting pitcher. But a great play from Worms. He's on a bit of a roll here, picking up exactly where he left off. Logan Cox will duck out of the way of ball 1 as the Copperheads down 2-0 in this second inning. Running into a bit of a buzzsaw as they did yesterday against Slawinski. And down early once again like they were yesterday. Did not score a run until the 4th inning of yesterday's game, but Cox will do just that. Sends the ball in the right field, right past Swagger. That's going to go all the way to the wall, almost into the bullpen. And he'll be in for a 2-out double. First of the game for the Copperheads is a double that immediately puts a runner in scoring position for Ridley Eddington. What a great pitch from Worms. Not even expecting to see off speed on the first pitch. Absolutely befuddles a lot of batters. They're sitting fastball dead red, and they don't get it. Taylor's going to have to make a good play. Bounces out of his glove, won't be made, but able to keep it in the infield. As a ball into the outfield would have been a little bit more dangerous with the courtesy runner over there. So Ridley Eddington will reach. Put runners at first and third. With 2 outs for the 9-hole hitter, Jack Thompson. Oren's coming inside for one, finds that inside corner. Pumps it in there for strike 1. And Thompson sends it one to the left field. Goes just foul. Missed an RBI double by inches. Ball was just left of that foul line. But the count now 0-2 to Thompson. The 0-2 from Worms. On the outside corner. Hit out to Swagger in right. Runs all the way to the line. Makes the catch for out number 3. Worms able to work out of a little bit of a jam. Copperheads strand 2. We go to the bottom of the second inning. BC Blue up 2-0. Home half of the second. BC Blue coming up. They'll face a new pitcher. Letterman only going the 1 inning to cover for Taylor, who was a little bit late. So Taylor will now come on and try his best to keep the score where it's at. Copperheads do have the best offense average-wise, but have been a little bit quiet against this BC Blue team as of late. So first pitch swinging is Mo Milliken. He'll fly out for the first out of the inning. Taylor making appearance number 5 for this Copperheads team. A record of 1-1. 9 2/3 innings, 13 hits, 12 walks to 4 strikeouts. Came in relief and got the win his last time on the mound. That was or sorry, 2 weeks ago. Two weeks from today. The 13th. But now has Matthew Swagger down 0-2. They'll say, yes, he did. Swung on a missed for strike 3. And out number 2. So Taylor wasting no time. Gets the first 2 batters in 4 pitches. Will now face Mason Bell with 2 outs in this bottom of the second inning. Sends that ball out to Musco and right. Will be caught. So 5-pitch inning for Taylor. Brings us to the top of the 3rd inning. BC Blue up 2-0. Third inning going to start with number 10 hole Landon Letterman, who started on the mound for the Copperheads. Rather quick inning to end the second. Taylor came on and was lights out. 1, 2, 3 on 5 pitches. Worms look to do the same here. Maybe one up them a bit. Just the 3 base runners allowed by Worms. A walk, a double, and an error. As there is that breaking ball yet again. Finds that bottom part of the zone. Letterman, who made his debut yesterday, went 0 for 2. So not the debut of dreams, but looking to turn around in this game. Had to go through Worms, but has brought the count even at 2-2. Swung on a missed. Strike 3 from Worms. Worms getting his first strikeout today. Flips the lineup over for the Copperheads. Zach Fritz, who had a hit yesterday, sends his ball foul. Going to go into the bullpen. Fritz dropped down a very nice drag bunt yesterday. Just got over Corson, who was on the mound at the time. And this time smashes it into center. Deggs gets a good read on it and makes the catch, backpedaling towards the warning track. A great read out there by Deggs. That ball was not particularly easy. Came off the bat hard. Had eyes for the center field wall. But instead it'll be out number 2. Bring up Bass Cooper. And again, Worms will find that outside corner. Much like yesterday, pitchers trying to find that outside corner. As Cooper crushes that one in the right field. Going to go all the way to the warning track. Not quite. As Swaggart's there to make the catch for out number 3. And a 1-2-3 inning yet again. So back-to-back 1-2-3 innings from Taylor and Worms. BC Blue coming up to bat, looking for some insurance runs. They lead it 2-0. Bottom of the third. Taylor on for his second inning of work. Will face the E.H. Harrison Garrett. Garrett pulled double duty yesterday, paying for BC Blue and BC White. May do the same here today, as I did hear BC Blue head coach mentioned Collins that he was going to catch all 3 games today. All 3 games this week, rather. So Garrett might yet again get 2 games as Taylor finds that outside corner. Taylor, one of the faster pitchers in velocity that I have seen in this Smoky Mountain Collegiate League. Fastball really jumps out of his hand. And there you see the breaking ball. Looks like a very tight spinning slider, moving from east to west. As a 2-2 comes into Garrett. Hit on the ground to Thompson. Has to come in. Make the throw over to Cooper. That'll be out number 1. So 1 out. For the top of the lineup, Owen Yvonne, who reached on a walk his first time up. That was against Letterman, who'll now have to face Taylor. Whole different monster on the mound is the 0-1 going to come into Taylor. A breaking ball. Change the speeds on Owen Yvonne there. Now done 0-2. Not going to find the zone, just off the outside corner. Yvonne, along with Hallman, saw his 5-game hit streak come to an end yesterday, but did reach base today. But swing and a miss on the breaking ball from Taylor. See that curveball come in handy twice. Both times in that at-bat. Got Yvonne swinging. And now the unstoppable force will come up against the immovable object. Taylor, who has been steamrolling through this BC Blue lineup, will now face Ryan Deggs, who is 4 for 4 in his last 4 at-bats going to Indy yesterday. 1 for 1 today. Count even 1-1. Deggs and Yvonne, the 2 runners to come in that came in the first inning. But no runners have come across the plate for either team since. So 1-2 the count. Taylor looking for strikeout number 3. And back-to-back strikeouts that would get him out of this inning. Fastball's going to miss off the plate. Bass Cooper thought that was strike 3, so he had to run it off the mound. Or off the field, rather. The 2-2. Find that outside corner. So Deggs will go down on strikes. We will not see him go 5 for 5 in his last 5. We'll go to the top of the 4th. Taylor on a roll. But Copperheads still down 2-0. Jake Worms back on the mound for the top of the 4th inning. The wind blowing everything around here in the press box. They'll face Hallman, Eddington, and Hoffman. Hallman, who was able to reach on a walk, was the first baseman to come to reach base for the Copperheads. The wind absolutely unrelenting, having to weigh some things down here up here so they don't start blowing around. Hallman will send that one to right field. Swagger going back. Getting it over his head and over the wall. So Sterling Hallman starting this inning off right. A leadoff double. Just the second hit allowed by Worms. Both coming via the double. Hallman on base for the second time. Walked in his first at bat. Brings up Samuel Eddington. The Copperheads DH tonight. Eddington with those 7 RBIs and an opportunity to collect number 8. Got some tough company to chase down, as Mark Anthony Hernandez is the leader in RBIs on this team with 12. Did see a game where he collected 6 back-to-back 2-run home run or 3-run home runs. Ball looked like it may have got Collins in a not-so-fun place. The umpire walking out, giving the ball to Worms. A lot of rapport that you try to develop between the umpire and the catcher. Try to protect each other back there. And if one is hurt, you normally give them their time, walk it out. Provides a better playing experience, and sometimes as a catcher, you're able to charm your way into a couple of strike calls. So 0-2 to Eddington. Hit to the left side. Dropped right in front of Taylor. Very weird look to that ground ball by Eddington from up here in the booth. Thought that one was going to find its way into left field and be caught by Taylor, but instead just died right around where the umpire was. Very interesting, but that'll be out number 1. Unable to move the runner over, and he'll stay at second. Sterling Hallman looking to come across, cut this lead in half. Left fielder Jacob Hoffman will look to do exactly that. Hoffman, one of the players on this Copperheads team logging the most games. Sends his ball to Carlton at third. Hallman will try to advance to third. Throw will be late. So a very unorthodox way to move a runner over, but a runner moved over nonetheless. Don't see that a lot. A 5-3 putout leading to a runner's advancement to third. But Carlton more interested in getting the out, as he should be. That was the second out. And Worms looking to strand another runner at third base. Finds that outside corner to start the at-bat against Frankie Musco. Saw him strand Logan Cox at third base after he doubled in the second. So already with some experience, getting himself off the hook as we get a courtesy runner, pinch runner. Not sure exactly why. But either way, New runner at third base and a 2-1 count to Frankie Musco. The 2-1. Not going to find the zone. Saw that pitch a little bit earlier get called. That's right. You see Collins asking where that was. Saw that for the only strike in this at-bat was a pitch that looked a little bit off the plate. Well, that'll be ball 4. Frankie Musco will find himself on base for the first time in this game. One of just 4 Copperheads who have reached base today. Hallman having done it twice. The aforementioned Logan Cox, who was the only batter previously to reach third base before Hallman had done so. First pitch swinging a ball in the dirt. Good block by Collins to corral that. Keep that in front. Keep Musco at first. And a great pitch by Worms. Looking to get himself off the hook here. With 2 outs and still a 2-run lead. Finds the zone yet again. Has Cox down 0-2. Would be strikeout number 2 for Worms. We'll see if he gets it. Ball in the dirt. Tried to tempt Cox again. Threw him the same pitch that he swung on earlier in this at-bat. But Cox a little bit older, a little bit wiser. Takes that one in the dirt. Collins with a good arm behind the plate if Musco takes off, which he does. Hit and run. Taylor going to have to make a tough throw. Bounces out of his glove. Not sure if he was going to be able to make the play anyway. Had to run all the way across the infield after running to second to try to get Frankie Musco, who was stealing second. So an RBI for Logan Cox. Second hit of the game. Cuts the lead in half. Copperheads now trail at 2-1. Still in danger, runner at second base. That's Frankie Musco. Ridley Eddington will look to bring him in. The run right there was the first one allowed by Worms in his 10-some-odd innings. Came in with 7 2/3. Has pitched 3 2/3 already, so around 11 1/3 innings. So the scoreless streak comes to an end, but we'll try to protect the lead with 2 outs. That ball in the dirt. Collins asked to do a lot of blocking. Worms trying to find that curveball, is buried in the dirt right in front of Collins on a handful of times. A 2-1 to Ridley Eddington. Fouled off. Looks like that's going to end up in a fraternity's backyard. Lindsey Nelson with a whole frat row right behind the stands on my right-hand side. So 2-2 with 2 outs. And Worms will get him looking. Drops in the breaking ball for strike 3. Strikeout number 2 in this game, and that's a big one. Walks the tightrope a bit. Only allows the 1 run. Protects the lead. Bottom of the 4th coming up. BC Blue still lead it 2-1. Bottom of the fourth. Taylor on yet again. But now pitching with a bit of run support. Copperheads able to bring one back. So all he needs to do is keep on keeping on. Hope that his offense can pick up a little bit of the slack. The 1-0. Swung on a miss. Wyatt Collins on for his second at bat, 0 for 1. With a strikeout. Was Letterman's only strikeout. Taylor on a bit of a roll here has struck out 3 in his last 2 innings. And he struck out his last 2 as well. 2-1. Hitting the left field. Hoffman on his horse. That might find the gap. A great run down by Hoffman. My goodness, the speed. Thought that one was going to one-hop off the wall, but there was Hoffman. So a long out number 1 brings up the third baseman, Christian Carlton. First pitch to him going to miss upstairs. 1-0. One to Carlin set in the right field. Musco going to race over to the line. That will be foul. Going to hop over into the parking lot over there. Carlton with hits in his last 2 games against the Eagles and the Copperheads, 1 for 2 last night. Count moves to 2-1. Had himself a 4-game hit streak for a little bit. Saw it broken up against the Bears on the 13th of July. That ball is going to be off the mask of the umpire. That'll rattle the brain around a little bit. The mask really only protects you from getting black eyes. It doesn't really protect the whole head injury type of thing. But Taylor going to drop in the breaking ball for strike 3. Taylor absolutely locked in his 3rd inning of work. Gets strikeout number 4. Has struck out 3 of his last 4 batters. The only one not striking out is Collins. That one will come in and clip Slawinski? No, not quite. Able to dance out of danger there is Slawinski. Thought I heard something hit up here in the booth, but don't have the greatest audio. Could have been hearing anything. 2-0 the count to Slawinski, who popped out to Bass Cooper his last time up. Had himself a single and an RBI yesterday. We're going to swing right through the fastball, move the count to 2-1. To go along with a great pitching performance, and where he only allowed 2 hits and 2 earned runs. Also got it done at the plate, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Love to see two-way players who can shove it on the mound and swing the stick at the plate. Ahead in the count, 3-1. And no walk. So BC Blue with the 2-out base runner after the walk to Slowinski. The first base runner allowed by Taylor so far came in for Letterman after the first inning. So that ball hit to Eddington at second. Take a few shuffles. Actually, not Eddington at second. Eddington's at third. But a few shuffles as Letterman will make the play for out number 3. And Slowinski will be left stranded. Top of the 5th coming up. Copperheads looking to claw their way back. They trail it 2-1. Top of the 5th inning. Copperheads able to claw one back in the 4th. They'll look to do it again, but a tough task. Still have to go through Jake Worms on for his 5th inning of work, able to give up only the 1 run in the last inning. We'll face 9, 10, and 1. That's Thompson, Lutterman, and Fritz. Thompson, a flyout victim, flew out to Swaggart his last time up. A big swing and a miss on that one. Worms just the 1 bad inning. We go 2 hits and a walk. That brought home Sterling Hallman. With the way Taylor's been going on the mound, would like to see him continue to put up zeros as we see some work out in the bullpen. Saw Corson on the lineup card, but not sure if we will see him today. Have seen him in the past couple of games, so may get a rest day. It does not look like it is Corson out there. Corson coming from the submarine sidearm kind of angle. Is Thompson going to send that one out in the right and fly out yet again to Matthew Swaggart in right. Levin Swaggart out there in right. Flew out to him twice. Brings up Landon Lutterman. Started on the mound, gave up 2 runs, the only 2 runs on the scoreboard for BC Blue. On the hook is the losing pitcher, so would like to get something going offensively to erase that off his record. Strikeout victim his last time up. One of 2 strikeouts Worms has collected in his 4 and some change innings. Looking for his first hit of the season as well. Making his debut only yesterday. But Worms seeming to have his number. spins that off speed down in the dirt, as we've seen him do multiple times, and will look to pound this outside corner. Does just that. They'll say, yes, he did, and that'll be strike 3. Letterman down on strikes for the second time today. Put 2 outs on the board for Zach Fritz, the leadoff man, who was 0 for 2. Still one more game tonight, as Worms finds that outside corner once again. We'll have the Bears versus BC White. Bears, who were dominant in their game yesterday against the Eagles, won 4-0. And a combined effort, 1 hitter in those 5 innings. The umpire gets hit on a passed ball. Not able to be corralled behind the plate. So Collins will take his time, walk out to Worms, and give the umpire as much time as possible. The rescue run, trying to be an umpire. Getting hit in these summer league games. But a 1-1 count to Fritz. Gonna miss off the plate. Had a couple of friends who were umpires, both for baseball, and had some referees for basketball and referees for soccer. The count moves to 3-1. Some pretty decent money. Extra spending cash. The count moves to 3-1 to Fritz, who looks for his first trip on base today. The count runs full. 2-2 to Fritz, or 3-2 to Fritz. That one's gonna be fouled off. Fritz clawing and fighting, trying to get something going against Worms. Just the 1 run allowed that came in the last inning. Worms not able to get Fritz, loses him there. And Fritz will walk, reach base for the first time today. The third walk allowed in today's game by Worms. To again ring that outside corner, this time with the breaking ball. Cooper will look to move things along. He sends that ball in the right field. Swagger going to settle under it, make the catch for out number 3. So bottom of the 5th inning coming up. BC Blue still leading 2-1. Bo Milliken will start things off with a ground ball to second. Logan Letterman will fire over to first for the first out. Taylor still on a roll, only allowed the one base runner. Coming on the walk in the last inning to Slawinski. Will now face Matthew Swaggart as he makes his way through the lineup for the second time. That'll be hit to Eddington at third. Make the strong throw over. A good pick by Cooper. Had to dig that one out. But play like me for out number 2. Taylor doing exactly what you want him to do here. Just putting up zeros. Trying to hold off until his offense can give him a little bit of run support. Already the one run come across in the 4th. But looking for a bit more. That ball set in the right. Frankie Musco said it was under it, and that'll be a quick bottom of the 5th. So 1, 2, 3. Once again, go BC Blue. Nothing doing after the first inning. Giving the top of the 6th. And the Copperheads back to the plate. They're down 2-1. Top of the 6th inning will bring Taylor up to the plate. Just got where he's going to get an at-bat, and then we will just pick up right where they left off. Wanting to see if he can get something going for himself. Down 0-2 is that one's not going to find the zone. Copperheads is trying to get something going, and Taylor going to do exactly that, but swing and a miss. Strikeout, as I believe we have a new pitcher, Braden Taylor, on the mound. Did not get a text about that one. Actually, it looks like Taylor came in for Hallman on that. Interesting. Still trying to figure it all out as Samuel Eddington sends that one into right field. Swaggart will come around and get it. But Eddington will be at first base with a single. Still trying to keep my bearings here, as I was completely thrown off by the pitcher hitting. Is that ball hitting the left field? Back-to-back singles by Hoffman and Eddington put 2 runners on. Braden Taylor having a little bit of trouble here in the 6th. That ball hit to the right side. Slawinski only play to going to be the first. The pitcher Taylor covering, and that will be out number 2. Runner's going to move up to second and third now. Been trying to get Taylor's stats up this entire inning, but a bunch of crazy stuff happening. Taylor making appearance number 7, a record of 1-0, 12 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 9 walks, 7 strikeouts, just 4 runs allowed. So the kind of guy you want to come on and close your game out. A ERA of 2.27, has not allowed a run in his last 3 innings, allowing just the 1 in the game against BC White back on June the 22nd. Hitting the right field, going to be a jump, but not going to get it. 1 run scores. Here comes the go-ahead run. The Copperheads take the lead. So Logan Cox, who's been on a roll today, flares one over Bell's head and into right field for 2 RBI single. His third of the day, the only batter to have RBIs. Flipped. Worms again will be left with a no decision after pitching some solid innings. Same thing happened against the Eagles, where the Eagles were able to come back and score runs in the 7th and the 8th to win. 2 runs have been brought across by the Copperheads in this top of the 6th inning. New pitcher Braden Taylor just looking to get out of this inning. Ball hit back to him. Will do just that. The throw over to Slawinski will end the inning. We've got a whole new ball game, folks. Copperheads put 2 across to take the lead here in the late going. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Copperheads lead it 3-2. Taylor on for the bottom of the sixth, now pitching with the lead. We'll face Garrett, Yvonne, and Deggs, who look to bring back BC Blue into the lead. Have not scored since the first inning, where Taylor was not the pitcher. Game was started by Landon Lutterman. Both Yvonne and Deggs able to reach, and were then brought around by a couple of passed balls. The count moves to 3-0 on Harrison Garrett. Garrett, who I mentioned, got double duty. Went 1 for 3 in the game with BC White as he walks, but went 0 for 2 in the game with BC Blue yesterday against the Copperheads. So he'll reach for the first time in this game. And after giving up the lead, BC Blue now puts the leadoff runner on to start this inning. As Taylor able to find that outside corner once again. Just the second base runner allowed by Taylor in his fifth inning of work. The one walk came to Slowinski in the fourth. Owen Yvonne, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored in today's ball game, but is notably 0 for 1 against Taylor. Taylor struck him out in the third in an inning that saw him set down BC Blue 1-2-3. The 2-1 going to be fouled off. Yvonne, who has been a hero for BC Blue before, saw him walk it off against BC White a couple of weeks back. Will look to be a hero once again. Put a ball in the gap and let Harrison Garrett run. So that ball blocked by Cox. Good job keeping that in front. Not enough for Garrett to move. Taylor has moved this count full as he is in line for his second win of the season, if he can just hold on. But swung on a missed. Strike 3. So Owen Yvonne goes down on strikes again to Taylor. Just 5 more outs for BC Blue. Harrison Garrett, the runner on first, will face Ryan Deggs, who, as I mentioned, his last time up was 4 for 4 in his last 4 before he was struck out by Taylor in the third. Taylor victorious in their first meeting. We'll see if Deggs has an answer as he swings through the fastball 1-1. Bears and BC White both congregating around the right field bullpen. Both teams already here as their game is supposed to start around 8 o'clock. BC White trying to be the first team to grab a victory against against the Bears. Neither BC White or BC Blue have been able to beat the Bears so far this season. The 2-1 going to miss up and inside. Deggs having to get out of the way of that one. And Taylor will ask for a new ball. Last one came in to hit Deggs. I would ask for a new one as well. 3-1. Got to find that outside corner. A good spot for that fastball. We see it once again. The count runs full 3-2 with 1 out as Degg sends that one to right field. Musco going to have to go back, finds himself on the warning track, still going, but will make the catch for out number 2. Two outs and still that runner at first. Harrison Garrett, who walked the lead off the inning. Wyatt Collins will look to not strand him. But Taylor looking to leave him right where he stands at first base. As mentioned, the only 2 base runners to reach, now 3. Right as I open my mouth to speak, Wyatt Collins got a single in the left field. So count it, make that 3 base runners allowed by Taylor. And just the first hit coming off the bat of Collins. Deggs will come on and run for Collins, a courtesy runner, as he is the catcher. So now some speed over there at first base, as Deggs is the go-ahead run. Tying run is Harrison Garrett. Chomping at the bit to come around to score. The first pitch from Taylor going to be swung and missed. They'll say yes, he did swing. Christian Carlton 0 for 1 with a walk. Has already faced Taylor once in this game. That came in the 4th. Was one of Taylor's many strikeout victims. As Taylor has 5 in his 4 2/3 innings. We'll set Carlton down one more time and send this game to the 7th. That ball hit in the center field. Fritz gonna have to get on his horse into right center field, makes the catch. Carlton hit the ball hard, but Fritz got some serious speed out there in center field, able to track it down and leave both runners stranded. Top of the 7th, here we come. Copperheads lead it 3-2. Top of the 7th, Copperheads looking to extend that lead. They lead it by 1. A newfound lead at that. Saw them score 2 runs on the top of the 6th, with Eddington and Hoffman coming around to score on a single from Cox. That ball hit the short. Play we made for out number 1. Oh, my apologies, folks. I got the numbers all wrong. No, never mind. I'm right. Never mind. My apologies. That is Taylor. So 1 out. And strike 3 yet again. Swung on a miss by Lutterman. He'll go down swinging again. The hat trick now for Lutterman. It's Taylor working his way through this Copperheads lineup. Looking to put up a 0 after giving up 2 in the 6th. Fritz puts a charge into that one, but Swagger going to run all the way to the warning track, make the catch for out number 3. The all-important bottom of the 7th coming up. We'll see who comes out on the mound for the Copperheads, but whoever it is will have a 1-run lead to protect. They lead it 3-2. Bottom of the 7th, still Taylor on the mound. He'll look to close this game out and collect himself a win, be a second victory, move him to 2-1 on the season. Has earned every bit of the moment he's been in right now. Has allowed just 3 base runners, 2 walks, and a single. One of those 3 coming to this man right here, Drew Slawinski, who leads things off and is quickly down 0-2. Slowinski hitting 182 on the season, but was 1 for 2 in the game yesterday against the Copperheads. Ball's going to roll fair. Taylor's going to flip it. Ball will be dropped. That is hands down one of the weirder things that I have seen in the game of baseball. Ball hit very softly down the first base line, but the spin was able to bring it back fair. Taylor had to scramble over there, try to make a play. Almost got him. But Slowinski able to beat it out. He'll reach with his first hit of the ball game. Bring up Braden Taylor, who was on the mound. Taylor on the hook for the loss. Would like to reverse that here. Be a hero in this bottom of the 7th inning and change that L into a W. A good spot for that fastball. It's not going to catch enough of the zone, and Braden Taylor ahead 2-0 in this count. 0 for 2 in today's game, but all will be forgotten if he can come up clutch for this BC Blue team. That ball going to be fair on the left field line. Slowinski going to have to get on this horse. Hoffman able to get there in time. The speed of Hoffman able to keep the runner at second. Slowinski rounded second, headed to third, but was not able to advance to third. So that the speed of Jacob Hoffman out and left might come in handy here. Kept the tying run at second base. Have seen Taylor put a couple of balls to the backstop. Nothing that advanced any runners as of yet. But is something to keep note of with 2 runners on and nobody out. Milliken hits the ball up the middle off the glove of Taylor. Only play going to be to first. Taylor looks like he's okay. That ball looked like it got him in the gut, but it sounded like it came off the glove. Had the wherewithal to at least make the play over to first. On a play like that, would like to see him try to get the double play, but 1 out for sure. He'll now face Matthew Swaggart with the winning run at second and the go-ahead run at third. Copperheads will bring the infield in. Swaggart 0 for 2, but could be the hero. Puts the ball into the outfield. Braden Taylor over at second, has some speed, gets a very big lead as he fouls that one to the backstop. A lot of tension. Some high pressure pitches here for Taylor. And a high pressure at bat for Matthew Swaggart. Down 0-2. Has already struck out once to Taylor earlier in this game. Bottom of the 7th, BC Blue down by 1. Sends the ball in the left field. Could that get over the head of Hoffman? It does! 1 run comes into the score. Here comes the winning run. And BC Blue will walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. A 2-run walk-off double for Matthew Swaggart as his teammates chase him down. Spraying him with water. An unfortunate way to end things for Taylor, who had a great outing, but just could not finish the job. Matthew Swaggart, the hero tonight. What collected his first hit along with the game winner. So what a way to end that game. Back and forth all the way to the end. And that will conclude things here for game 2. The Bears and BC White walking onto the field have a tough game to compete against as that one went down to the wire. They'll be on in a few minutes, around the 8 o'clock hour. But final here, BC Blue 3, Copperheads, or BC Blue 4, Copperheads 3 in 7 innings. A walk-off from Matthew Swaggart. Have a day. We look to see you soon for the next game.